carrier USS Coral Sea with 85 planes, 6 million pounds of munitions, 4,500 men. It has dropped more than 850,000 tons of bombs on the people of Indochina. In November 1971, 1,300 of its crew signed a petition to stop their ship from going to Vietnam.
You all are not actually on Vietnamese soil. It must be very abstract for you. I mean, what the effects of an attack carrier have on the war. What is it that started you all thinking, and how did you come to understand the role that an attack carrier plays?
I suppose everybody always knows, but they can rationalize anything away. That's man's, you know, that's the way his mind works.
Like you read the polls and people want us to get out of Vietnam, and you see the polls getting higher and higher every week, but yet we aren't out, you know, and how can you rationalize this?
You know, we'll be off the coast of Vietnam during Christmas, you know. We'll probably send a strike off during Christmas Day, and so many sick lifers. They'll go down and write Merry Christmas on a bomb, you know. And the chaplain will make, we'll try and rationalize it, you know, and it's a big joke, but it scares you.
You have to question, and I was always taught to question. The service won't let you question because they don't have an answer. They only have a rule book.
And I feel that by my speaking out, you know, if I can turn just a couple people to start thinking about it, or even think about it for a couple of seconds, I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Sunshiny afternoon here on the Mekong River Delta, where elements of the 101st Airborne tangle with the crack North Vietnamese 7th Regiment, both teams undefeated and untied so far this season. We're looking directly down on the playing area, marshy white paddies surrounded by trees with hills in the background. Looking up over those hills, here come the Cobra helicopters of the 101st. They're strafing the landing zone with 50 caliber machine gun fire. There go the miniguns, and here come the troop-carrying Hueys windmilling down into the zone. It'll be the 3rd Brigade of the 101st. The boys come busting out of the helicopters, firing M16s from the hip as they go, driving on to set up the line of scrimmage. There's no sign of the Viet Cong yet, no sign of Charlie. Wait a minute, Dad. There he is. There's Charlie. Charlie's here, and he's got mortars. I count mortars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds of mortar fire, and 2 make it 4. Huey helicopters down and burning. The rest are up and heading for home. The boys in the 101st are dug in there. Now, Charlie coming out from behind the mortars with AK-47s. He's heading for the outside of the line, but the boys in the 101st have laid up a wall of grenades, small weapons, and machine gun fire. But Charlie driving on hard. And look at those fireworks, the best that American technological know-how can provide. Flashettes, claymores, beehives. There's Puff the Magic Dragon, 36,000 rounds a minute. The boys have got 4-barrel shotguns. And Charlie is slowing down. He's bogged down. He's stopped. He's stopped. He's stopped. At the line of scrimmage. What do you think of the action so far, Red?
Well, Red, looks like we're in for a beautiful game here today. Both these teams in tip-top condition, boys from the 101st, looking really good out there. Not that I'm trying to detract from the Viet Cong. They've had a beautiful season. I guess you know this, Red. They are the home team here, and they seem to have a lot of support here among the local fans.
Thank you, Red, for that interesting and colorful commentary. Meanwhile, back on the playing field, there's a temporary halt in the action, a timeout, while the dead and wounded are being dragged from the playing area. Red, I see Lieutenant Colonel Billy Slocum on the radio down there, and I think he's going to go to the air for the next play. I think he'll look for the bomb. Here they are from the carrier, USS Enterprise, 4F Phantom jets in formation. Silver glitting in the sunlight. They're up and over, down they come. There go the 20-millimeter cannons. There go the rocket pods. There go the anti-personnel fragmentation bombs, and I count 12. Water Buffalo down and kicking. There they go around again. They're coming in again for a second pass. We'll watch for it. Here they come. Low coming in. Here it is. It's Napa. Wow. Right on top of the 101st. There are penalty flags all over the playing area. They're moving out now into orderly withdrawal, and lying motionless on the ground is Lieutenant Colonel Billy Slocum. That'll be a fragging penalty for the boys in the 101st. And here's the hotline battlefield tally for the Viet Cong. 117 dead, 212 wounded. For the 101st, casualties were light to moderate as usual. Red?
Don't forget, next week is Old Timers Day, and we'll have veterans and survivors from both sides of Bien Bien Phu. So
Bien Bien Phu, the big one for the French. Okay, this is Red.
And Red.
Saying until next week, when the great scorer comes to mark against your name, he marks not that you won or lost, but how you played the game. So long. God bless.
God bless.
1,300 on a ship, Coral Sea, said no to the Vietnam War. Wake up, Admiral Zumwalt, they're talking to you. They're not gonna fight your fight anymore. We painted your bulkhead, we polished your brass, while you put the world into slavery. Foxtrot, Tango, November. Free the day.
Once again, the current temperature on Okinawa, 66 degrees. The news is next inside on American Forces Radio. The time at the tone, 8 a.m. Picketing continues to increase as more than 750 Zingunro personnel are at 32 gates to military installations as the first day of the planned two-day work stoppage got underway. However, no incidents have been reported, and traffic continues to move slowly through those gates with heavy picket activity.
We're, of course, particularly happy to be in Okinawa. We all hope that by our presence here, the Okinawan people and the U.S. military people can come together to see our show with the understanding that the American GI is not the same as the American government. The American GIs don't know why they're here, don't want to be here, don't want to be in Vietnam or Japan or the Philippines or Hawaii, anywhere in the Pacific Rim or anywhere in the world where they don't belong, and that they, like us and like you, believe that Okinawan land should belong to the Okinawan people.
Probably they resent Americans being here, mainly, I'd say. I can't blame them in a way. When you see a base like this with all this land, they could be using it for something else.
I think they ought to send us all back as states. That's where we're part of the United States. We're supposed to be standing up for that flag, not some other country, I don't think.
Well, here the Okinawan peoples are fighting in the streets. They let us have our own republic. And we've had them for 25 years. And before that, Japan had them. Let them have their own republic.
La 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 la.運んだとアメリカは言ってるがまだまだ何があるか怪しいものさ山中大臣は